Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of Think Big with Michael Zellner. All positive, no politics. My guest today is Romeo Khazen. Romeo is the director of player development at Caesars Entertainment and at Horseshoe Casino in Tunica, Mississippi. He has been with Caesars for over 16 years now, and he's responsible for Caesars Asian marketing and the National Casino Marketing departments. Welcome to the show, Romeo.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So tell us something interesting about yourself that most people don't know.
Something interesting. I moved from Israel to the United States back in 1994 to go to med school. And, you come to this country and you think school is the biggest thing to do. But you see so many opportunities that open up doors for you over here. Israel is like big on doctors, lawyers, engineers. That's the mentality of the families over there. And then you come here and you're like, wow, this is a different beast. Like there's much more to do than just study and learn. So I went to University of Memphis. I graduated there in 2001. And I was going to go to med school and then decided like as soon as I graduated, I was like, med school is not for me. Start going out at the club scene, the nightlife scene, and you start meeting amazing, incredible people. And from there, it just opened doors to the casino business.
That's
and
awesome.
Here we are.
So you grew up in Israel, as you talked about it. I believe you were born in Haifa.
Yes, sir.
What was it like growing up in Haifa?
So Haifa is a gorgeous city. It's on top of the mountain facing the Mediterranean. And it's if you've never been there, I definitely advise go visit. It's beautiful. The food is incredible. The people are very nice. But Israel is very I might say this one. There's not a lot of doors to be opened when especially if you're a Palestinian Christian kid, right? A lot of stuff wasn't available for us. And then 1991 we had the first Gulf War that hit, and we got impacted pretty good with that. Right. With the Scud missiles from Iraq that's coming in. I mean, it was a horrifying experience, but at least we survived it and moving on. And then you come here and makes you appreciate everything you get into, even the relationship with the people, the materialistic stuff. Everything is like you literally appreciate everything you have over here. But
you talked about going to school at the University of Memphis, and you actually were there. I used to own a bar on the Highland Strip called the Library. It was the Oasis in the Library. So you were there. I think you were in school about the time that I was there. So I love the bar business. You talk about the nightlife. I loved actually the people and the live music, but the bar business itself, very, very long hours. But that was a fun experience being down there during that time. There wasn't as much downtown, midtown. There wasn't as much to do during that time. And you got out you said you got out into the night scene and you started meeting a lot of people, and, you came here, like you said, for pre-med. How did you go from pre-med to a few years later getting hired by the, largest gaming company in the world?
So it was interesting. So I'm going to give credit to one guy that probably a lot of Memphians don't like, but when Coach Calipari got hired back in 2000, everybody was making a big deal about him coming to University of Memphis. It was the biggest hire in school history,
right?
Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, well, man, this guy is something. You got to meet him somehow. I got to figure it out. At that time, I was working at Huey's in Cordova for Thomas Boggs. We opened that place in 1994, I think. But I was there, and he was friends with the guy that owns the High Point Pinch. I think his name was John. Trying to remember John's last name. But anyways, and Coach Cal had his radio show there every Monday or after every game. And they had the one big table, which had 30 people in it. And Thomas Boggs came up to me and asked me, he's like, hey, do you mind going and working that table? Just one table, help them out. And, everything is comped and you'll get the tip. I was like, absolutely. I didn't care how much money I was going to make. I just wanted to build that relationships and be seen around the guy.
Sure.
And then from him, we got the Grizzlies back in 2003 that came to Memphis. And I was like, wow, now we got an NBA team. So you got a lot of big names over there, Fratello, you had Jerry West, Hubie Brown. I mean, all these guys start coming in. And Cal actually introduced me to Jerry West, and me and Jerry became very great friends. It was one of the best GMs we had till I give it to Zach Kleinman right now. Kleinman is killing it. And then from there, it just the relationship added to another relationship. And then from that area, I met Jack Binions and John Cicini that used to work the Horseshoe down here. And Cicini comes up to me one day, is like, man, why don't you come work for us at the casino? I was like, I don't know anything about the casino business, never heard of it.
Right.
He goes, just do whatever you're doing right now and we'll pay you. I was like, man, what? I'm not doing anything right. I'm not getting an income right now. So I was like, all right. I mean, we met in the steakhouse down in Binions, and they offered me a job that was incredible and I couldn't say no. And from there, it just opened up more doors. And then you start understanding the business, right? The casino business is all about relationships. More people that come in, nobody's going to walk on a casino and not try to gamble, right?
Right.
Even maybe put $100 in a slot machine, $100 on a blackjack table. But it was always a vibe that was incredible. Like, people are going crazy. There's a lot of fun life. And Jack Benny sold the Horseshoe back in 06 to Harris Entertainment, which wasn't as family oriented as working for Bennions, but it was a corporation, needless to say. So corporate America started getting involved in the industry, and then Caesars took over in 08, and we became obviously the largest gaming company. And now, not till after COVID, we had a new owner now. It's the El Dorado Resorts, which is owned by the Carano family, and man, it just brought all the family mentality back that Jack Bennions had. So it's kind of recycling itself.
Right.
And it's amazing about the Carano family. They go from owning a couple of wineries and then 2 casinos, and now they own the biggest company in the world with 50 casinos around the country.
So you obviously created opportunities for yourself. You saw, the situation with Calipari, and, you talked about how people, in Memphis don't like him. I went a long time and didn't, but I'm over it now. And I realized how much he did, to resurrect the program here. And I'm sure he realizes that the program, if he had not had the job at the University of Memphis and resurrected it, he would have never gotten the job at Kentucky. I know he's an intelligent enough guy to know that. I also heard about Cal that, Larry Finch was really sick, and I heard that Calipari actually helped out a lot with that family, with the bills and everything, and something that he never publicized at all. And that he took care of, from a few people that I know that know the Finch family said that Cal never wanted credit for it or anything, that he actually did that to help out the Finches because he knew they needed financial help.
No doubt. I mean, and RC brought him in, RC Johnson brought him in that year. But Cal is still to this day helps Memphis out, and he never want to get credit for it, which is amazing.
That's awesome. How would your family and close friends describe you?
Oh man, I'm very energetic. There's not one stranger I don't like to meet. I trust everybody till they give me a reason not to trust them, right? And that's, I love life, man. Like I said, coming from Israel to here, living during the first Gulf War, seeing the missiles that flew over our head, and it's just amazing over here. Like, you got to appreciate life. Life is good.
You have met a lot of famous people and athletes working at Caesars. You've gotten to take trips around the world, take care of all the high rollers and their families. Some people might think, oh, he has fun. That's all it is fun. However, I know that you've worked your tail off for the last 16 years to be in the position that you're in now. What do you believe are some of the aspects, the most important aspects of your job?
Most important aspect of my job: pay attention to detail, and then never turn your phone off, because our business is 24/7. If a high roller calls you at 2 o'clock in the morning and you miss that call, there's plenty of other casinos that are open that they get that call, and then, man, you messed up on a good one. But the other part with the high rollers, once they gain your trust, they will do whatever you want. Like, but it's a mutual trust. Like, I'll never betray him. I'll always be upfront with these guys. Even if I can't do something for them, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and tell them, yeah, I can do it so I can bring them to the property. And then they find out, hey, they've been hustled. Then they lose that relationship, and you lose your friends, and you're never gonna be able to do any of that stuff. But definitely paying attention to details. The best thing a customer wants is when they come to your casino floor, have everything that I expected from the trip before already in the room, on the casino floor. It's already taken care of without no hassle for them to do. All they want to do here is relax and have a good time. I mean, a lot of the big whales are still working when they're on the tables on those slot machines, so we don't bother them. But when they're in the restaurants, you'll go grab dinner with them in the room, make sure the rooms are good, all the amenities in the room. If they need a private jet, they'll be there on time. Limos are always on time. It just the minor stuff that people kind of sometimes overlook
Sure.
makes it go the longest way.
You know, I always believe it's the little things that make the big things happen. And those little things, remembering people's names and everything, even their kids, if they bring their kids with them, remembering their names and making them feel like they're part of, the Caesar family.
No doubt. No doubt.
What makes you feel inspired and motivates you?
Oh man, just meeting new people every day, like the newer relationships. It just because people are interesting, like they're unique. Now there's not one person like the other person. So I thrive for that stuff. I love those relationships. And then the other thing is my team, man. I've been blessed with an incredible team that makes everything around you so simple. Like you don't need, so makes you do your job 100 times better. I mean, I got my right hand lady, her name is Latasha Wood. She's incredible. I got a squad of 8 employees. Most of them are females and only one male. So working with me, my Asian departments, I got two Asian hosts, a male and a female. Player development, I got 4 ladies that run my player development department, and then my NCM department, I have a female and a male that run the charter business, and they're all been incredible. We've been together for almost 14 years, same
great.
team. So, and Tunica, when first came up, Binions was bringing amazing money over here, and then we went on a decline for a little bit till about 2019, when right before COVID hit, we were shining, and then obviously the pandemic hit and killed us a little bit.
Right.
And then 2021, when we reopened, we had one of the best years we had since 1995, which was incredible to me. Like we were doing, I'll give you an example, we were doing maybe like $67 million in EBITDA in revenue, and now we're hitting 106 million.
Wow.
And with this year, we're on pace to do it again. It's incredible what we're doing down here.
I bet that excitement being around that, when you drive down to the casino and all the lights and the excitement and everything, just being, I mean, it can't do anything but just, I mean, when you go into your job every day, you just have to be, I mean, I would guess happy.
You do. You definitely do. I mean, you're going through the Cottonwoods. Tunica obviously doesn't have the lights and the buildings and the shows and restaurants that Vegas has, or the shopping, or none of that stuff. But so a lot of our customers, they keep on coming back because of the relationships that we build with them and the customer service. And then when they're big time gamblers, they're like here to focus on gambling, and we give them the limits. We give them all the stuff that Vegas gives you on a gaming floor. Right. Without the entertainment and the flashes. And we do have some good shows, don't get me wrong. Like we had Jeff Dunham, we had Martina McBride. I mean, there's some big names that come and perform here, and it's fun, but it's not like Vegas. Every night you have a big name performing.
Right. If you could have drinks with any historical figure, movie star, athlete, anyone, who would it be and why?
I mean, no doubt there's 2 guys I would love. I wish I was growing up in their generation. Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Those 2 guys changed the entertainment life, changed how people relate to each other. I mean, they were just having fun doing what they like to do, and without even worrying, right? I mean, regardless of their personal issues, sure, what happened, Dean Martin losing his son kind of deteriorated at the end of his career, but just watching them sit around people and making them laugh and enjoy. Those 2 definitely would be my top 2 to sit down with.
It's sad. You and I are close to the same age, and, talking to people in their 20s, and you mention those names, they're like, who? They don't, there's so many people, great people from history that they don't know about and missed out on. And those are 2 of the, unbelievable people.
Yeah, those, I mean, I grew up watching a lot. I listened to a lot of Frank Sinatra stuff. So he's been, I mean, Dean Martin, like when they used to do the roasts of Dean Martin at MGM, that just was amazing. I don't know if anybody watched that stuff, but that was incredible how they interacted with the customers, because a lot of the audience was all the big players for MGM that were sitting there, and they enjoyed it.
You have a really special relationship with former University of Memphis, Carolina Panther, and Pittsburgh Steelers running back D'Angelo Williams. How did that get started? Tell us a little bit about that friendship.
I mean, one of the I'm the godfather of his kids, so I love him to death. He's like a brother to me. But when Tommy West was recruiting him, Coach Randy Fichtner was our offensive coordinator, and Fichtner came up to me one day. He goes, "Man, we got this running back. That's going to be incredible. We have to keep." I'm like, "Great." He goes, "He's coming to his recruiting trip in Memphis, and we want to show him a good time." I was like, "Man, I'll take him out anywhere. We were used to go out all the time. Like I saw you out
Right.
at the glass. So, we'll take him out." D'Angelo fell in love with the city over here, fell in love with the people. And then when he signed, we became closer. And he met his wife. Obviously, she was a trainer on the football team, and they stayed together the whole time. And then when he got drafted, we just became even closer. Like his mom was like my second mom. Obviously, she passed away from breast cancer at the age of 53, which she out survived all her sisters that had breast cancer because everybody died before they reached 50.
Wow.
And he's a big advocate of that. Obviously, anybody that knows D'Angelo knows breast cancer is a big, big thing on for him. And he's raising tons of money around the country. He goes pays for mammograms for ladies all over the country. We do charity events around the country just to raise money for research and all that stuff. But he was a special, like an exceptional athlete, as you saw, University of Memphis. I mean, he broke a lot of NCAA records and became a big name. And now he's getting inducted to the Tennessee Hall of Fame on the 23rd of July up in Nashville. So it's going to be another fun trip. And now we got, we have 4 kids. He has 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. So I told him, I was like, you can't leave this earth till they turn 18 because I can't deal with 4 kids right now.
Yeah, I see a lot of pictures of you holding them and hanging out with them and stuff. That's so much fun. You just look so happy with them.
They're amazing till I make my own. Then I'll be retired.
Did Randy Fichtner being with the Steelers help get D'Angelo there?
At the end of his career, yes. When he left Carolina, when Carolina released him, Randy definitely was very happy about that because he saw still there's potential in the end. If everybody watched his last 2 years with Pittsburgh, I mean, he put amazing numbers, especially when Le'Veon Bell was out. Le'Veon was hurt or suspended, and D'Angelo was carrying the team in the running game. It was amazing. I just wish we would have made the Super Bowl. We ended up losing to New England Patriots that year in the AFC Championship. And they went and won it again. Tom Brady, the curse of Brady.
I know. I'm a lifelong Steelers fan. I have Steelers all over my room and everything. So yeah, I know. I actually met Hines Ward in 2007. There was a big fight at the FedEx Forum. Jermaine Taylor, a middleweight,
Yep.
And I was in the lobby. And I was with a couple of friends of mine, and I looked over and I see Hines Ward just dressed in regular clothes, talking on his cell phone with like a bodyguard next to him. And the bodyguard's just looking around, making sure, and no one's coming up to Hines Ward. Yeah, I guess people didn't recognize him, but being a lifelong Steelers fan, I knew it was Hines Ward. So I got the attention of the guy, his bodyguard, his eye contact with him. And I just said, like, I'm out, can I have an autograph, please? And he looked around and he goes, okay. But he like goes, shh, be quiet. Don't let anybody know. And so Hines was really nice, took a picture with me and autographed it. That was a lot of fun. I mean, just like I said, I've known the Steelers, back when Terry Bradshaw was playing. So lifelong fan. So I was so happy to see D'Angelo go there.
I was happy for those 2 years. I'm a lifelong Bears fan, and we can't even find a winning season, man. It's hard since Urlacher left. It's been a struggle for us.
Yes, it has. What has been the biggest challenge in your life that you've overcome?
Oh man, telling my parents I'm not going to med school. That was so family back in the Middle East is very tight and very close, and your parents not they don't control you, but they have a lot of say in what you do. So when you go against their will, it's pretty challenging to get back in good graces and all that. But that was very challenging time to tell them that I'm not going to med school and I found a different business. It was very hard.
Did you, I mean, I take it they're very supportive of you
Oh,
now,
yeah, no, now it's incredible. I mean, thanks to my late grandmother, she kind of stood by my side. I was always a grandmama's boy,
right?
so she helped me out a lot. That would be my second toughest challenge when she passed away. Getting over, when you're in a relationship with a family member for that long, and they're lived with you, and you've been around them every day, and the special bond. And once they're gone, and like, wow, now what am I gonna do?
Right.
There's nobody I can vent to every day. Like, she knew every secret I had. She knew everything I've done. And when she's gone, but you get over it, and life becomes you makes you appreciate life even more.
It definitely does. Roma, you also have a special, I guess it would say, another close friendship with someone that you met at the University of Memphis at a basketball game in the 2000s when Cal was the coach. And shall I say, maybe you rekindled that friendship in February of 2014 in another Memphis game. Longtime official Jim Burr.
Uh,
Tell us about that friendship and what
that
happened.
day. Jim Byrne never, when Cal was here, we thought we are untouchable, man. We were just rowdy, but we were never disrespectful to the rest. We'll talk a lot of smack, but
Sure.
there was never any disrespect or anything like that. So we always sat behind Cal's bench, and you gave him our peace of our mind. And Burr at the time, hey, Burr got older when Josh was here. We were playing Central Florida that game. I think it was during the Sochi Olympics. It was 2014, I think the Olympics were.
Yes.
And in Sochi. And there was an incident that happened at Texas Tech in a basketball game where a big booster got ejected. So we're playing Central Florida down in Memphis, where Duke and North Carolina were supposed to be on ESPN. And that game got canceled due to a snowstorm. So we're like down there, and I got a great relationship with Alan Graff, who was the CFO of FedEx at the time. And then he gave me his seats because he was out of town. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll sit down there. We sat down there, and sure enough, Jim Burr is the ref. And there was an incident where the player from Central Florida was sitting in the paint. Like, you can count to 10, and there was no call. So I looked at Jim. I was like, hey, Jim, can you count to 10? Like, the guy has been camping in the paint. Literally, he just looked at me. He goes, Rom, you like your seats? I was like, I love them. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He goes, well, you better sit down and shut up, or I'm going to kick you out. I was like, you can't kick me out. I didn't say anything to you. I'm just asking you a simple question. But I guess the whole tension with the Texas Tech incident, he went to the score table and pointed at me, and they came and kicked me out. I was like, oh my God, he just kicked me out. This is incredible. But the good thing that happened for our company is, I don't know if you remember the advertising boards.
Oh, yeah.
We're in front of the seats. So sure enough, I'm getting up and the Horseshoe Tunica logo comes up. So our social media blew up just by me getting kicked out. And then I got a call from my president. He goes, did you just, I was like, yeah, but did you see the logo? It was incredible. Because like they say, no publicity is bad publicity. I was like,
yeah, you got a lot of national recognition for that. I think that the Texas Tech, was that they were playing Oklahoma State, Marcus Smart?
They were, exactly, Marcus Smart. And and that booster was Baseline. And I guess he told the F you to Marcus Smart and said something. I was like, kicked him out. I was like, thank God I got witnesses. I didn't cuss Jim Burr, but I did smart off to him for sure.
Well, he deserved it. So, and that's funny. That's what a great story. I know you've told that many times, but I just had to hear that again. It's been a while.
The video is still on. I mean, you can look at Josh Pastner and see the look on his face when he looked. I was like, oh, geez, it's like, my bad.
To me, the true sign of character involves many things. One of those is someone who's achieved a lot in life and is always giving back. You've definitely done that in your involvement in so many things in Memphis area and beyond. You're involved in leadership in Memphis, involved in Battle of the Bras that helps raise money for the American Cancer Society, the FedEx Family House for Lebanon Children's Hospital, and also, as you mentioned, the D'Angelo Williams Foundation that helps research, the cure and eradication of breast cancer. I'm sure there's more too. You work all the time, and you still have the time to give back and so much yourself in need. Why do you do that?
Because when you leave this earth, you're not going with anything. I mean, why not give back? Like Charles Barkley said, if you've been blessed, why not bless others, right?
Right.
And Lebaners is huge to my heart. Anything to do with kids, it's number one, they don't deserve it to be in that situation, because they should enjoy life and have a great time. So if you can help with that stuff, why not? I mean, I like the one, speaking of D'Angelo, that's one thing I always tell him. I was like, man, I don't care where we're at, dinners, whatever. If a kid comes up to you and asks you for something, you'll do it in 2 seconds. Now, adults, that's a different story. They
Right.
should understand the respect and all that. But the kids, because it's memorable, man. When if you turn a kid down, they're gonna remember that for life. But if you're kind to them, that's gonna remember it as well for life too. So no, kids are incredible. LeBron is dear to my heart. The leadership Memphis was amazing because you met a lot of uh, VPs from other companies that are trying to move up in their corporations. FedEx is big time involved in that program, and so are us. International Paper, a lot of corporate AutoZone, a lot of corporations in Memphis, and it was amazing meeting these guys and build a relationship with them. And now you see them move up, so kind of again helps you out. It's so easy to talk to somebody when you have a good relationship with them.
Right.
Then, then if they don't know you and they don't want to do anything with you.
I know that it's like I said, it's fun to help out and stuff like that, but you obviously have a big heart, man. So that's awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely. You have a few favorite quotes. One of them is, "You never walk alone." What does that mean to you?
So I'm a diehard soccer fanatic. Obviously, Liverpool is my team from the Premier League, and that's their motto. You never lose, win, lose, or draw. You always have the fans support behind you. So same here with me. You never walk alone. My team is always behind me, and I got their back 100%. So same with the family. Anything we do here in Tunica or around Caesars Entertainment, it's all in trust of my team. And I'll have their back. And they're always been honest with me, regardless if they're right or wrong. As long as you're honest with each other, you can figure out a solution for that problem. And that's where "you never walk alone" is always in the back of my head.
You obviously, if you've had people working with you for over 10 years and some of them almost as much as 15, you're obviously a great leader. The people down there like you and respect you, because in today's world, we know that if that's not the case, people are going to go somewhere else. So that just says, once again, that says a lot about you.
I appreciate it.
You're my pleasure. In 1993, Jim Valvano, the former head basketball coach at North Carolina State, ESPN broadcaster, he gave a really impassioned speech at the ESPY Awards that we see every year, all the time on ESPN. He was fighting cancer at the time, in a ton of pain, but he knew he had to give that speech because it was important. Unfortunately, he passed away a few months later, but not before he started, the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research, which is raised now, I think, upwards of $290 million. Another one of your favorite quotes is one of mine. I have a big poster on the wall that says, "Don't give up. Don't ever give up." Why do you like that so much?
Because so when I quit med school, there was a span of 3 years that I didn't have a job or any. Literally, I was networking on the streets, just going from one place to the other, trying to build the relationships, and then it took 3 years. So definitely never gave up till that door opened up with the horseshoe. So it gives you perspective for the past life that you had, like in the past, what you went through. And now it just, any challenge you throw at us, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't work the first time, I'm not giving up on it. I'll keep on going after it. The Grizzlies came into Memphis, right? And everybody's like starstruck, oh my God, how are we going to talk to these guys? I mean, watch, like,
Right.
Hold my beer. I'll show you. Became great friends with Mike Miller, another amazing guy that's been in Memphis. Shane Battier, who I think should have been the mayor of Memphis.
Absolutely.
When he was here. Mark Gasol, who when you saw him at Lausanne, nobody ever thought that he'll ever be a freaking NBA player.
Right.
And then went back to Spain and came back, and now he's a Memphis legend. The same with Zebo. Everybody said Zebo the thug. Why are we bringing him here from Portland? And look what he done to the city of Memphis. He'll go to the smaller area codes where they can afford not and pay their freaking MLGW bills. Like,
right.
They give so much back to the city. A lot of stuff. When you see these guys coming from the hoods or whatever, and they never gave up to reach their dream, there's no reason for us to give up on anything.
I think you went and saw Mark play in the championships when he was with Toronto. I think I remember seeing you at those games, and And also, I had Pete Pranica on about a week ago, and we talked about Zebo. How much he made mistakes early on in his career. He comes here, and this city embraced him and just love that guy. And just like a big teddy bear. He's really. You talked about the MLG and W, and I know there's more too.
Oh, no doubt. Mike Conley's another one. And now we're fortunate enough to have Ja. Ja just been embracing Memphis like you won't believe. It's good to see players like that instead of the players that come in here for 1 year and say, man, I can't wait to get the hell out of this city.
Right.
That when I hear athletes say that about Memphis, it's a dagger to your heart, because we're giving you an opportunity. Number one, you're in a state with no state income tax.
Right.
So you're collecting a hefty check. So
Exactly.
number one, say a thank you, and instead of I can't wait to get out of here. But that's why we love the ones that stay here and give us their all. I hated seeing DeAnthony Melton leave. He was a great advocate for the city. He loved it here. There was great chemistry with him here. And then there's one more person in Memphis I definitely want to thank for putting Memphis where it's at. Obviously Penny Hardaway, man. Coach Hardaway has revived this basketball program since he got us back to used to where Cal put us on the map, right? And Penny's been busting his behind to get us back where we deserve to be, because he didn't have to do it.
Oh, right. Exactly.
Penny didn't have to dirty his hands and try to prove to anybody anything.
Right. He would have been one of the best ever. Those knees not giving out on him.
I think he had the biggest compliments when Michael Jordan wore Penny's shoe in the playoffs. The only shoe to Michael Jordan ever wear.
You remember the All-Star game when Jordan pulled his pants down?
Yep. So the city got a lot of good stuff, man. Fred Smith is another guy, right? Look what he's done to the city. If it wasn't for FedEx, we would have never got the Grizzlies.
Right.
They never got a lot of stuff in this city. And those leaders, Pitt Hyde is another great advocate for the city of Memphis. And he's a Carolina graduate. So, Alan Graff was big. Mike Glenn. Obviously, FedEx produced a lot of big people, and I hope they keep on doing that. And that company keeps on doing what they're doing for the city of Memphis, because it's amazing. Now, casinos, we tried to get in Memphis, but obviously Tennessee is against gaming, which they allowed lottery and they allowed mobile gaming, but there's no brick and mortar. So I don't understand that part.
I'm a big advocate of Memphis too. People say, oh, there's so much crime. Look, there's crime everywhere. Nashville's gotten larger than us, population, but the crime has gone up significantly in Nashville too. You talk about so many great things in Memphis. We could sit here all day and name the things, but the revitalization of downtown and midtown, everything that's happened in the last 15 years, St. Jude, Le Bonheur, FedEx, the Grizzlies, the Tigers, AutoZone, International Paper, there's just so many positive things. And, if you only look at negatives, you're going to find negatives.
It's easier to find negatives. You're right.
And we live in that world today. So I don't watch news or anything anymore because it's negative, negative, negative. That's why I said here, when people say, what are you going to talk about? There's so many political. And I said, no, I'm not going to talk politics at all. It's not worth it. It's not fun. We're going to talk positive stuff on here, and promoting Memphis is a big thing for me too. And I'm glad that you do that. You're big into Memphis.
I love it. Anywhere I go, even when I'm at Caesars for work, I always got either Memphis basketball, Memphis football logo on. Another program in Memphis football, like when D'Angelo left, the football program got down to the trash basically.
Right.
And then we hired a Fuente, revived it, and then Norvell after him kept the torch going. And now Silverfield is doing an amazing job. The biggest challenge we got right now is the NIL, right? The NIL deals are becoming so absurd.
Right.
I don't know how you give an 18-year-old $1 million without giving him any financial classes on how to be financially responsible. And then you wonder why by the time they're 25, they're broke. Right. And if anybody gave me $1 million back in the day when I was 18, my family would have controlled every penny till I was suitable enough to manage my own money. I'm not saying family members can do that all the time, but if they got your best interest, they will do what's best for you, and they're not gonna ruin it for you.
Speaking of being 18, what do you think your 18-year-old self would make of your life today?
Oh man, be very proud. Definitely, again, school was a big thing growing up. College was, if I can go back, and I'm not giving advice to everybody to do so, but I probably would have skipped college and just straight into the restaurant business. Uh, Working at Huey's, met a lot of people. People came into the bar to enjoy themselves, and there was a lot of business people that came in. And then from there, open doors. I'm a big guy. I'm a big fan of relationships, man. Like, there's not one person, if you tell me to go talk to, I'll go talk to and sit down, because I tell my team all the time, I don't care where you at. If you want to talk to somebody, go approach them. The worst they're going to tell you is, no, I don't want to talk. So just
Right.
leave them alone after that. But if they say hello, give you their name, hell, you struck a conversation. You don't know nothing about that person. Lord knows, in a couple of weeks, he'll call you. It's like, hey, I got this customer that wants to come and gamble. And bam, now you got a brand new account just from one simple conversation at a bar.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in, I've told people this before, even when I go through a drive-through and I see the person's name tag, you and I both know that probably 99% of the people that go through that drive-through never say, really talk to that person, use their name or anything. I always try to use their name once or twice while I'm sitting there thanking them and everything, because they're a person, and I respect anyone that has a job and does that.
No doubt, man. And the other thing is, you tell people, you never know when somebody's going to move up in life. That person that's working on drive through, the janitor, either one could hit a lottery, and now they got crazy, or they're going to move up in life. Somebody's going to see their value and move them up. If you bust your ass as a janitor, you're gonna, hell, when I worked in the restaurant business, I was cleaning toilets.
Right.
It's not a bad, it's still, you got to make your means, you got to pay and move up. D'Angelo said it best when he got released from Carolina. Hey, one team's trash is another team's gold. In Pittsburgh, it was very
Black
fortunate
and
to have
gold.
him. Right, exactly.
Right.
So it's always in perspective. I mean, some people are going to see potential, others are going to move on and look for something else. So,
And you also you never know what kind of day someone's having just by using their name and being,
exactly.
having courtesy with them and, being courteous. It could just make the difference in their day. You never know.
No doubt.
This past year has been pretty exciting for you. Last November 25th, you got engaged. You said of your fiance, Brianna, the woman that changed my life and made me a better man. You guys are getting married next March in Vegas. Tell us a little bit about her and how you guys met.
Oh man. So she used to work at Coastal Fish. She was with the flight group, and she was a server. And I actually still remember the day like it was yesterday. Me and my buddies were up there. We used to go there every day. Like, Coastal Fish is one of the best restaurants with one of the best views in Memphis on the
Yes.
lake. So we had the corner table outside on the patio, and we'll sit there for hours. And she was our waitress one day, but she had the mask on. I was like, hey, can you put your mask down? I want to see that smile. She had an amazing smile. I was like, and I looked at her like without hesitation. I was like, I'm gonna marry you one day. And she looked at
Wow.
me, was like, whatever. Look, she'll tell you. She was like, whatever, and walked away. And we started going up there. I was like, every time she had her shift, I was going up there to see her. And sure enough, the reason I say she changed my life to the best, being in the casino industry and single man, and you're around a lot of nightlife, around a lot of crazy stuff. Uh, you're out there all night long. You're out till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You're partying left and right. You're having people at your house till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's just constant living life, like, bam, on the go, on the go. You meet this person that's finally put a halt to all that stuff, but at the same time, you're not bored being with them, right? You're waking up next to somebody that cares for you, cares about you, and doesn't want you for your contacts and doesn't want you for your money. She's there just for you. Like, she got an amazing job. She makes a great living. She
Right.
never asked for a dime, and that attracts me even more to her. And we've been together now almost 3 years ago, and we got 2 amazing dogs. She brought animals to my life, which I was always against animals. But man, when those 2 dogs came in my life, this is going to be fun. Like, this is going to be a great one. And now, once we get married, we're going to work on expanding the family. So hopefully it'll be fun, and we'll enjoy the rest of the life traveling after I retire.
Right. Yeah, dogs are amazing. You know, I have 3 miniature schnauzers that just I've had for
Oh,
12 years, and they just, man, they get you through everything. I mean, if you're having a bad day, you come home, it's unconditional love. You know, I went through some really bad health issues at the
mhm.
end of 2018. I almost died from 2 pulmonary embolisms, and it sort of knocked me back for a few years. But having them, they got me through it. So dogs are just amazing.
Yeah, man, incredible. Like you said, when you walk in the door, I was in Israel for 2 weeks and she had to stay here. She couldn't go. When I walked in that door, you thought it was like they haven't seen me in like ages. The jump, it was a lot of love. There's tons of love with these animals. People don't, they're much better than humans.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And people that have never had dogs or cats, you know, they have no idea what they're
I
missing out
was
on.
one of them. I
Yeah,
was one of them. I never believed in animals living in my house. I was like, I don't want to clean all that hair, the shitting, all that crap. But man, now, shoot, I can't go, they can't go to sleep without being in the bed.
absolutely. The same way here. What are the most important lessons that you've learned in life?
Oh, always be kind. It doesn't matter uh, how rude somebody is towards you. Always kill them with kindness, man. That's a big time lesson because they're gonna realize the next day that they messed up and they'll come back and apologize. But and never show an ego to anybody. Like never look down at anyone. Now, always be humble. Again, I'm gonna use another quote Charles Barkley told me. He goes, "Man, Rose, it's easier. It takes 2 seconds to be kind to someone. It takes 45 minutes to an hour to be an asshole. And there's no reason. It's a waste of your time being an asshole. So kindness is a big one.
You know, one of the ways that you know that someone is a good person is when you have many of the same friends, and no one that you know mutually has ever had anything bad to say about that person. And you know, Romeo, that's the case here. It's always been nothing but positive about you, and that says
Thank
everything.
you.
I mean, just you're a really good guy. You've always been really nice to me, and I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate you coming on the show today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I definitely would love to have you back again sometime.
Absolutely. Go Tigers and go Grizz.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you,
Take care.
Romeo. You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.